welcome back to Blackacre Ranch. It's another Saturday on our weekend ranching adventure. We're here checking out our bison and working on our fence pastures. It's a little chilly here in April, but hey, we'd rather have a chilly April than a melty one here in Texas. So we're gonna get going on fencing a little bit. We just finished up lunch and the bison were ready for their cubes. So I wanted to catch a little bit of that action. When Jeff first got the cube bag out, the first one up to the fence was Bartok. His whole face practically came through the barbed wire to get it. I was busy eating or else I would have been filming. And I would say these yellow taggers are definitely more friendly to come up to the fence. But our white tags, I don't think are getting as much time as there's just not as many of them, and so they kind of get pushed back.
So right now the ground is harder up here. I'm trying to spread out, and as the dominant ones are going in on a pile, I'm trying to hurry up and go over to a spot where there's less dominant ones. It's not always working because the dominant ones hear the new pile and they start going over there, but I'm trying to get this to spread them and see if I can get some of these outliers in the back. Ahmed just doesn't ever seem interested in cubes. He just stands off back there. I can drop him right in front of him. Most of the time he doesn't even acknowledge it as there. Sometimes he'll go down and sniff it and then walk away.
Think you found something better to sniff. Number one, you're checking me out, aren't you? Think I have some cubes for you? Hey. Okay, so this morning, first thing on our way out to the property, we stopped by Tractor Supply to get some more T-posts that we have set up here to join our piles of barbed wire and a full pallet of cubes. So our animals will be nice and happy for a long time. Right there, waiting for their cubes all the time. Week before or so, we went and got more posts. And here's our minerals. It's really nice to have all this space to work with.
It's time to start working, but I wanted to tell you, Steve came by and visited, and it was good to have a chat with him. He told me on Thursday that some of these ladies are looking a little close to having some birthing action, whatever you call it, like calving. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, what are the signs then? You know, just kind of being a little enlarged, is there discharge? He's like, yeah, let me go tell you about it on Saturday. So he came by, we looked at a few of them. Some of them are looking really big. Some of them are looking like they're kind of dropping. Some of them are swelling on the rear end. You might have been able to see some of those from the videos when we were feeding them. So signs are pointing towards hopefully some calves coming soon. So that's a positive sign on the ranch. You know, every week I cross my fingers hoping we find a baby, but it's getting close. I think there's a handful of them that are getting pretty close. You'll notice that this time we just used a scoop in our hands, and we didn't go over and use those little bucket pig bowls, feeder bowls. Yes, so the feeder bowls, one will hoard a whole thing, and everybody else will stay away. So it was so hard to get everybody to have some cubes. When we did the whole line, one would cordon off an area. It's like everybody's got this bubble, a buffalo bubble, right, of intimidation, and nobody will come around them. So Steve said we really need to get one of those, I think they're called trip hoppers, and it's a trailer that holds a ton of cubes, and it rotates around and has a gear on a wheel, and so every 10 feet or something like that, it'll drop a quantity of cubes in a pile. And then every 10 feet again, it goes again. So what you do is you get set bundles of cubes. Anyway, those are just really expensive, and it would be more ideal to do that. But this scoop actually wasn't too bad. I think as long as we spread some out along the line, you can chuck with that, and it was really fun actually to aim those things out and try and reach some of the others. So anyway, enough. We got some work to do. So fencing, this is that west side, northwest corner. You've seen the picture before. This is this pasture 7. This is another 17 acres or so that we're trying to get next to 6, so that way we can move them over and kind of give the grass a breather between the two and actually grow. So we've got posts. We're just going to be working on the cross piece, and then hopefully starting to get our line drawn. You'll see the hill over here and the creeks down in there. We have a double set of H-brace that we're going to work next that's up the top. From the last episode, that's where Charlotte got stuck. And so, you know, so be it, right? But
So we won't be driving through that again.
no, we won't. We're going to actually go back up and around and come back and go that way. So the weather right now is like 50 degrees. Up top, it was blowing really good, and it started raining drops here and there. It's a pretty crisp breeze. So down here, we're kind of sheltered. It's not so bad, but with the weather that's been here and it's been raining, I don't want to go drive through that any more than I have to right now since we got stuck last time. And I don't want to bring the tractor down. Everything I'm doing today is hopefully not having to use the tractor and just do these cross pieces, and this section of fence will be done, and I think this is about 400 feet. Then we'll worry about the next 700, 800 feet up there. So that's our plan right now. So as I said, Charlotte got stuck last week. We've had a front tire problem that's been getting leaking air. So it's been doing this for like 3 weeks, and we keep having to fill it up, and it's getting lower and lower by Saturday every week. I hate buying tires. I love the smell of tires. I just don't like paying for them. So anyway, we got new tires this morning. They are all-terrain tires from Discount. So they were really honestly just the cheapest ones. But hey, I'm excited. Every dude loves buying tires at a tire place, right? So smells great. We're breaking them in, getting them in the mud. So anyway, back to fencing.
All right, so we had an old barbed wire line kind of helping us keep our line as we set things up. So they're taking that down right now. We're gonna find the origin. You see that? The origin is in the tree.
And it's coming out onto it.
Yeah, this thing has grown through the tree. It was forever ago the fence line, and the trees have overgrown it, and so it's kind of our, yep, this is the property line.
So this is where this big thick one is, but down here is a little one, down here is a little one.
Man, that tree
down
sure
here is a little one. So at some point it was here.
It's become part of everything.
And in fact, if you go by the T-posts,
it looks like it's on the other side of that
it's
tree.
actually on this side of the tree.
Uh-huh.
When we wrap our north side, we're gonna go on this side.
Right.
And I understand why people put barbed wire against a tree, okay? Sometimes they're just so huge, you gotta go around it. I get that. What you should do is not just put the barbed wire on the tree, because the tree is gonna absorb over it and grow around it, all right? There's obvious reasons this is not cool, okay? But put like a sacrificial 2x4, screw it to the tree, and then put the barbed wire against the 2x4. Then it won't grow into the 2x4, and then you can always remove it, put a different one, re-screw it, something like that. But then it doesn't grow inside the tree. I've not done that, but it totally makes sense. So, you know, this is just, if you ever had to cut down this tree or mulch it, that'd just be insane what you're gonna hit. So we're gonna eventually clean this up when we come back up on the north side. But right now we're gonna kind of just leave it here because it's easier to see when it's big than it is when it's small.
18.
Let me just... Oops, I got your hair, bud.
Can you scoot back a little bit, bud? Thank you, sweetie. You can stay there, just one to see. It's in the dirt. There you go, right there.
The marker.
Oh, Daddy.
Go down. Go down. Go down. Okay.
Hammer.
Come on, Daddy. No, this side.
All right, time for some brace wire. So we're trying a different route here. We used the strainers back up here on the top part a couple weeks ago, and the strainers just start disintegrating, right? They just, I don't know, they're not maybe of the same quality. I don't know if they're an off-brand of strainrite or if they're strainrite. They're just a piece of junk right now. They're falling apart. So we've tried single strand. We thought, well, maybe we'll try some crimps and then crimp it at each end and just put a strainrite in the middle and try and tension it, and they're falling apart. So I'm going to try back to that old school way that the first fencer guy did, and that's just going to wrap like a piece of steel or something between it and just twist and twist and twist and twist until it finally tightens. This might be a little slack, first time, I don't know. We're going to have to twist a lot, but we're going to give that a shot. So we just crimped it 3 times. That's going to hold these guys together, and we got to cut ourselves some rebar. And then we're going to start wrapping. We're going to stick it between and we're going to start wrapping. The direction you want to wrap is that when it gets tight, it's going to have a spring and wants to unwind, and that's when it's going to hit against this post and hold it. So just wrap it the direction you want to make sure that it's on the side of the post that you want. There's not going to be an animal here. It's not really imperative, but typically I would put this on the outside of the pasture so that way animals don't rub up against it, because we're going to have to put like a nail or something to hold it so it doesn't somehow come off. All right, people use pipes, they use all sorts of stuff, but I'm just using rebar because they're cheap. So let's give this a whirl and see how it goes. I can already tell you this probably is a little loose. We're getting some curling and stuff. Let's see if that all works out. My plan is getting thwarted. Maybe that's why they used a little bit bigger. I don't know if this is gonna work.
Oh my.
So ideally, it would hold like that, but we're gonna keep going.
need a nail or something? Is that what we're gonna do next, or?
Yeah, I don't have a nail. I'll have to come back later. But,
Oh, great.
so that's probably good. Then we got to get to the other H braces and try the same thing. Hey, maybe we'll try this. All right.
I like that. I like that it's stable now.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to go anywhere. I think maybe 5/8 would be a better size.
All right, so we're at another H, and this one used to
Same
be
one.
an X. Well, we haven't videoed this one. So at this one, we were smart and we paid attention to our cross wires to keep them separate. So as Jeff winds it, it doesn't interfere with the other one, so it'll tighten up really nice. So I just wanted to show you guys that.
Because it's been raining.
All right, it's kind of slippery out here. Don't let that smack you in the face.
That would hurt.
I don't recommend it.
We're like Sasquatch, man. The shoes.
Oh, we're gonna see those shoes in just a second. I wouldn't call them shoes.
I don't like driving without shoes, and I might have to do that.
Check out your boots. Taking the forest home with you. Or at least all the mud. Yeah.
I have to go back.
All right, one more double H that one, because we're gonna start that guy and run it this way, and put it on this post and run it all that way. So just one more while it's raining, get it done out of the way. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up today. It got a little wet, a little rainy, and as you can tell, there's a lot of clay. We've got everything set, so next time we're just gonna start running a bunch of barbed wire. I think we like this brace wire straining, or wrap thing with the rebar. So I got 3/8 inch because that is also the same size as the brace pins. And we're all muddy, and I think that's it. Was there anything else?
We're wet too.
Yeah, we're wet. So we're gonna try and drive home and not get the truck super dirty, but the bed is completely packed.
We didn't get stuck today.
Nope.
We slipped a little.
We slid sideways towards the fence on one spot, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. It really is. So something to remember. So anyway, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, for the muddy shoes at least.
The humor.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Catch you later.
I wanna stay.